Folks, welcome into Bob Redfern's Outdoor Magazine this week. Listen, this week we are at the Congressional Sportsmen Foundation annual shoot for the state of South Carolina down at the Palmetto Shooting Complex down in Edgefield, South Carolina. And joining me this week, it's all about agriculture. I tell you what, on my far right is the president of the South Carolina Farm Bureau, Harry Ott. His son, Russell, who is a representative in the House. All these guys are from Orangeburg, South Carolina. And nonetheless, on our team today is Buddy Jennings. He is the former director of South Carolina Parks, Rec, and Tourism. So I tell you what, we got targets flying. We got a big event this week. And listen, agriculture, it touches every one of our lives. And we're going to talk to both of these guys, Harry and his son, Russell, to talk about how important agriculture is to every South Carolinian, and every person in the United States of America ought to be paying attention to this show this week. Guys, thank y'all, man. Let's do some shooting, all right? Woo! All right. That is catfishing from Sand Heap.
Perfect Lake Hartwell hybrid.
This week's destination is brought to you by Chevrolet. Chevrolet, finding new roads in the outdoors. Today's Chevrolet destination features another great hunting destination that you can find more information about by going to Bob's Top 16 at www.bobredfern.com. And be sure to check out all the award-winning Chevrolet vehicles at Chevrolet.com for your next outdoor destination.
Well, folks, joining me now is the president of the South Carolina Farm Bureau, Mr. Harry Ott. And you know, Harry, I tell you what, thanks for being a guest on the show today.
Thank you, Bob, for having me.
Well, just getting an opportunity to come out outdoors. I know that doesn't happen very often, but you know, tell everybody out there just how important agriculture is and the Farm Bureau and the mission of what you guys do.
Well, thank you again for the opportunity, Bob. You know, the one thing that we all have in common, Republican, Democrat, Independent, every human on earth, is we need to eat as much food 3 times a day, healthy, good food grown locally if we can. And a lot of people understand, they get up and eat. They eat breakfast, they eat lunch, they eat supper. But very few know the details of how it gets from the farm through the supply chain and into the grocery store and finally makes its way onto the table. And at Farm Bureau, part of our mission is to educate the public about where their food comes from and what it takes on the farm end to grow that food. We, a lot of times, get criticized. People don't like the smell of a poultry house, but everybody likes to eat Chick-fil-A nuggets. So you can't have one without the other. So our job is to try to locate poultry houses and facilities in areas of the state where it's conducive to grow them and we get along with our neighbors. But if you don't understand the process from A to B, you just don't understand. And another part of the economy of agriculture is the importance of water. A lot of people just assume, well, you got plenty of rain, it's going to be okay. But with the value of the crops that we grow today, we can't afford to not have access to water to grow those crops because without the water, those high-priced crops that you enjoy eating burn up in the fields, and then the price goes sky high and we have shortages. So this telling of the story of the importance of agriculture and how all the pieces fit together to go from the farm to the table is part of what we try to do at Farm Bureau.
Well, Harry, I tell you what, we're going to talk some more about
Okay.
the Farm Bureau mission and all that. But I think the guys are ready for us to go over and get ready to do a little more shooting.
Let's go smoke.
Okay, let's go do it. All right. Get on them, Russell. Hey, ah, man, look at that.
He went
Get up,
back, but he
get
can't
back.
take instructions.
No, sir, you can't. He did good. I'll tell
Hey,
you what, man.
didn't you hit both of them? I'm not complaining.
Listen, these young guys, they know what they're doing. Ooh, nice.
There you go.
Nice, nice. Pull it.
Good, good.
Pull it. Woo, that's it. Yeah. Well, look, Harry, I tell you what, while we're going to take a break here, I know Russell and Buddy are chomping at the bit to get on down the course. I have to ask you one more question about what the Farm Bureau does. You guys have got a whole host of other entities and sub-entities of what you manage actually at the Farm Bureau. Can you give me just a little bit overview of that?
Well, I would be really remiss if I didn't tell you, we also sell the best insurance in this country. We have a full line of insurance products that you have to be a member of Farm Bureau in order to participate in, from automobile insurance, homeowners, life insurance, the whole gambit. And we've got a staff of about 200 agents across the state that are ready to serve the needs, and we think we've got the best service available. So that's just one of the other things. We also have a ag in the classroom division where we are actually, I hired a former teacher, and she now runs, Tracy Miskelly, the ag in the classroom, where we teach teachers how to teach the importance of agriculture and where food comes from to our young kids. And I know I talk about food and the importance of it all the time, but you used to not have to do this because everybody either lived on a farm or their granddaddy or aunt or uncle had a farm that you would visit. But now, as most people are moving into the metropolitan areas, they have lost touch with that farm background and those farm roots. So it's all about reconnecting to the farm, knowing where your food comes from, and appreciating the work that the farmers and ranchers, men and women all across this great country, do 7 days a week to provide that food. I want to tell this story, and I know people think I make this up, but it is a true story. We had some young kids one time, and we asked them where chocolate milk came from. They were convinced it came from black cows. They just didn't make the connection. So our job and our role is to make sure they know that milk comes from cows. The chocolate was actually added to make it chocolate. It didn't come out of a brown cow. And at some farm, I had to get up at 1 o'clock in the morning to milk those cows so they had it on their table for breakfast.
Well, Harry, I tell you what, it is such a great organization. And you know, coming from farmer to legislator to now the president of the best and the greatest, it is absolutely just a pleasure to have you here on the show today. And listen, I tell you what, I don't know how good you and I are going to do up against Russell, but we're going to try.
Well, all I can tell you is you're keeping score, so I expect to win.
No, there you go. Well, folks, stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to have more great Sporting Clays action here. We're going to talk to Harry's son, Russell, who is a State House legislator here in the great state of South Carolina. We're going to have more. Just stay tuned when we come back.
South Carolina Farm Bureau's mission is to promote agriculture interests in the state of South Carolina and optimize the lives of those involved in agriculture while being respectful towards the needs and concerns of all citizens of the state. South Carolina Farm Bureau is active in local and state government to protect and pass laws that protect farmers, farmland, and farming operations. One of the featured missions is their involvement in education in South Carolina schools, teaching the next generations about where their food is produced and the farmers that are responsible for growing it. Lastly, South Carolina Farm Bureau is connecting and empowering young farmers, ranchers, and agribusiness professionals to ensure they will be successful in continuing to provide the best South Carolina food products that the citizens of South Carolina have come to know for generations. For more information on all that Farm Bureau offers about agribusiness and education, go online at scfb.org. Farm Bureau of South Carolina, shaping the future of farming for generations to come.
Nestled in the western part of South Carolina is the Old 96 District. Comprised of Abbeville, Edgefield, Greenwood, Lawrence, and McCormick counties, this region is rich in history, fishing, hunting, and small-town flavor. Old 96 District is part of the South Carolina freshwater coast, covering over 2,000 miles of shoreline, which offer many fishing opportunities and is home to the only wild turkey museum in the world. Local businesses offer a wide variety of unique gifts and foods. Make sure you discover the undiscovered wonders of the Old 96 District of South Carolina.
The Chevy Silverado Trail Boss. When you have a 2-inch lift, when you have Goodyear Duratrack tires, when you have Rancho shocks and an integrated dual exhaust, when you have all that, the last thing you'll need is a road. The Chevy Silverado Trail Boss, ready to off-road, right from the factory.
Southern Woods Plantation. The name itself conjures up images of a time gone by. A time of towering pines, mule-drawn wagons, and covey after covey of bobwhite quail. Southern Woods Plantation has been chosen as one of the top 6 hunting destinations in America. They offer great hunting, comfortable lodging, wonderful food, and world-class dogs. Southern Woods Plantation, where the past can still be experienced today. Bob Redfern's Outdoor Magazine is being brought to you by these great partners. Chevrolet. Find new roads with Chevrolet. By Lake Hartwell Country. The Land by the Blue Wall. By the South Carolina Agriculture Department. It's a matter of taste. By the Old 96 District of South Carolina. Come discover the unexpected wonders of South Carolina's 96th District. And by South Carolina Embroidery and Screen Printing. Your one stop for all your company's promotional needs.
Nice, nice. Yep, that's it. Pull it. Dead. Woo, barely on that one. Nice. There we go, nice. Pull. Nice. Pull. There you got him. Well, folks, welcome back to the show. I tell you what, we're on station 11, but before we go, I got to introduce a special guest today too, and that's State Representative Russell Ott. He's the son of Harry. He took Harry's spot in the state legislature back in 2016, and I tell you what a befitting pickup in that legislative seat that you took over from your dad when he retired and jumped over to the Farm Bureau. You know, Russell, growing up as a young farmer, down in farm country. What has it meant to you to bring all of that and all your skill set to the legislature here in the state of South Carolina?
It's meant a lot to be able to represent rural South Carolina, not only for agriculture, but for all of the other things out there that a lot of times rural South Carolina kind of gets overlooked, but specifically for agriculture. It's like we were talking about a little while ago. 50 years ago, pretty much everyone had some type of connection to the farm. Whether it was an aunt or an uncle or a grandparent, someone, they pretty much knew something about agriculture and life on the farm, but that's not necessarily the case anymore. So there's not as many, farm interest legislators that come from the farm and the General Assembly anymore. So it's important to be able to have some folks that understand it and live it and can talk about it and try to educate not only people across South Carolina, but our fellow legislators as well.
Well, one of the great things is having an outdoorsman, a former, okay? You were raised right, okay? Your mom and dad.
Mom did a good job.
Yeah, okay, now, all right. We got to give your dad a little credit.
Mom did a good job. He did too.
But, the thing about it is it's so important to have young legislators like yourself in there who get it, okay? And that's the problem right now. A lot of guys don't get it because it's all about what we enjoy every day. And as I said on the outset of the show here, agriculture touches every life. Absolutely. Not only throughout this state, but throughout America and the world.
Absolutely.
And folks have got to get it, just like you guys.
Yeah, I've always said that it's really an issue of national security because you've got to be able to provide for yourself. And so America and South Carolina specifically has always done a fantastic job of providing for our country and for our state. So we've got to make sure that we're always able to do that. And we've been able to do that thus far, but it's going to take people working hard to try to educate other folks that don't know as much about the farm to make sure that continues. So,
well,
we're going to do our part.
You and your dad will continue to do that. Okay,
Absolutely.
Station 11.
Here we go.
And you've been first every time.
Yeah, that's like you ought to get a handicap. Yeah, right.
Pull it. I told you I hate them rabbits. Pull it.
On today's show, Bob and his guests are shooting in a sporting clays tournament to raise funding awareness for the Congressional Sportsmen's Foundation. The Congressional Sportsmen's Foundation was established in 1989 to work with the United States Congress, governors, and state legislators to protect and advance hunting, angling, and recreational shooting opportunities. The Congressional Sportsmen's Foundation is involved at both the state and federal level, working on laws to protect and promote fishing and hunting, as well as granting access to public lands for future generations. With nearly 250 members, the Congressional Sportsmen's Caucus has grown into the largest and most effective bipartisan caucuses in the United States Congress. For more information on the Congressional Sportsmen's Foundation, visit them online at congressionalfoundation.org.
At sunset, boats are required to display a red and green light on the bow and a white light at the stern. Navigation lights are for others to see you and your intentions. Remember, safe boating is no accident.
Welcome to Upcountry, South Carolina. Discover the 6 counties in Upcountry, South Carolina that run from metropolitan cities with fine dining and cultural events to pristine natural beauty and all the adventure that goes with it. From hiking, rafting, to some of the best fishing in the Southeast. 6 counties, 1 state, a million opportunities. Upcountry, South Carolina. Perfectly seasoned.
Want to know the difference between power bait and other soft plastics? Ask the fish. Berkeley scientists have thousands of flavors tested on thousands of fish. Natural, man-made. Every bait that's ever hit the water. And no matter the shape, size, or color, power bait is the only one that is scientifically proven. Fish bite and will not let go.
Number one priority when hunting out of elevated stand is safety. Always wear a safety harness and use a lifeline when you can. Always have at least 3 points of contact when climbing in and out of your stand. And remember, safe hunting is no accident.
Take a journey off the beaten path to Lake Hartwell Country. Tucked away in the northeast corner of South Carolina, Lake Hartwell Country is a hidden gem with waterfalls, mountains, beautiful lakes, and history dating back to Revolutionary War times. For the outdoor enthusiasts, Lake Hartwell Country offers fishing, hiking, water recreation, horseback riding, and so much more. Come visit Lake Hartwell Country, the land by the blue wall. The Sportsman's Table is brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Agriculture. Whether you live in South Carolina or coming to vacation, make sure you're purchasing South Carolina-grown farm products. Make sure your food is South Carolina certified. It's a matter of taste.
Joining me this week from the International Culinary Institute of Myrtle Beach on the campus of Horry Georgetown Tech is chef instructor and my friend Tom Mullally. I tell you what, he is also the owner of Strand Catering.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, man, it's always good to have you back.
Always a pleasure.
You're always cooking up something great for our
They
viewers.
keep eating. They keep eating, Bob. I can't stop them.
I'm telling you. All right, what do you got for us this week?
Man, we're going with some fresh local duck breast.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure if it's Donald or Daffy, but we don't care.
There
we know
you
it's
go.
going to be flavorful. So we're going to get a nice crispy sear on there. You know, as we know, like skin on a duck breast or a chicken breast, it's good when it's crispy.
I got you.
But if it's flabby, it's not quite as palatable.
Right.
So we got a nice golden brown sear on both sides. We're going to finish them off in the oven.
Okay, I see about 400 degrees for how long?
Exactly. With that one there, I personally like to have my duck breast cooked medium. I don't really want it mid-rare like I probably would my red meat, so I go medium. So that size duck breast is about 6 ounces, probably going to take about 10 minutes.
Okay, awesome. Okay, all right.
All right, Bob, let's take our duck breast out of the oven.
All right, 10 minutes, 400.
Oh, yeah.
Medium.
Got that nice crispness down there.
Okay.
We're going to let this rest a little bit before I slice it. As I'm waiting on that, I'm going to start garnishing up our plate.
All right, well, let me move this over to this side. Yeah, about that.
Bob, who doesn't like mashed potatoes?
Oh, yeah.
Good old comfort food. And me personally, I like Yukon Golds. I think they're the Cadillac of potatoes. Yukon Golds are the only ones that I use on Thanksgiving Day.
Gotcha. All right.
It's all personal preference, but that's what I like to do.
Gotcha.
I think they're just so much more flavorful than russet potatoes are.
Okay.
So we've got our piped Yukon Gold mashed potatoes down. We're looking for a nice medium in our duck breast.
Oh, wow.
And I think the chef got lucky, Bob. I think it's cooked perfect.
Yeah, I think it is. We wouldn't have it any other way with Tom Mullally. There you go.
Look at that, beautiful. You got a little pink in there. But again, we don't want to go mid-rare, but medium is like perfect.
Right.
Now, the plate needs to come alive, Bob, as you know, and they eat with the eyes first. I like to roast vegetables at times.
Okay.
A lot healthier, more flavor. So we've got some carrots going on there, some local yellow squash.
Oh, wow.
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower, yeah, there you go.
You can see that little roast on the cauliflower, a little golden brown.
Gotcha.
The plate is coming alive, but I think we need one more color. Let's go with some asparagus.
There you go.
I love asparagus, one of my favorite vegetables. We've got the tips, and odd numbers are best for eye appeal. That's why we're going with 5 asparagus. And as you can tell, the plate's really coming alive, but you know me, Bob, I'm not done yet. We have to lace it with a Cabernet sauce.
Ooh, wow. Look at that.
They with the eyes first, as we know.
Listen, and folks would never understand that that is a duck breast there. That is awesome.
Great stuff, isn't it?
And Tom, I'd like to thank you again for being a guest on the show. I tell
you.
you what, thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
And folks, listen, I'd like to thank all the folks down at the International Culinary Institute of Myrtle Beach, here on the campus of Horry Georgetown Tech. And as always, it's a matter of taste. Log on to CertifiedSC.com and see what's fresh on the menu for yourself. We'll see you right back here again next week on another great episode of the Sportsman's Table.
To find out more information on supporting local South Carolina farmers and their products, visit CertifiedSC.com. It's a matter of taste.
You should always use a safety on any firearm, but remember, a safety is a mechanical device that can fail. It is only there to supplement proper gun handling. Remember, safe hunting is no accident.
South Carolina's Santee Cooper Country invites you to relax and get away from the pressures of everyday life from world-class fishing, golf, camping, or lakeside dining on traditional Southern cuisine. With over 450 miles of shoreline, Santee Cooper is an exciting challenge for fishing, canoeing, and kayaking, offering unique outdoor adventures for the whole family. Santee Cooper Country. Discover the natural wonders of South Carolina's Great Lakes. To receive a free newsletter and e-news, just log on at santeecoopercountry.org.
The Chevy Silverado Trail Boss. When you have a 2-inch lift, when you have Goodyear Duratrack tires, when you have Rancho shocks and an integrated dual exhaust, when you have all that, the last thing you'll need is a road. The Chevy Silverado Trail Boss, ready to off-road, right from the factory.
No-wake zones are areas on a body of water in which boaters must operate at idle speed. Idle speed is defined as just enough power to maintain steerage and headway. Remember, safe boating is no accident.
Bob Redfern's Outdoor Magazine is being brought to you today by these great partners. By the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources, making life better in the outdoors of South Carolina. By Berkeley. Berkeley, your fish, our science. By Upcountry South Carolina. Upcountry South Carolina, perfectly seasoned. By Southern Woods Plantation, offering the best quail hunting in the Southeast. By North Augusta Customs, servicing South Carolina and Georgia with all of your Line-X and vehicle customizing needs. And by Santee Cooper Country, discover the natural wonders of South Carolina's Great Lakes.
Well, folks, that's our show this week from Edgefield, South Carolina, and the Congressional Sportsmen's Caucus Foundation annual State of South Carolina shoot. And I tell you what, I got to thank my special guests on the far right over here, State House Representative Russell Ott, and the guy right here on my right, the president of the Farm Bureau in the state of South Carolina, Harry Ott, and then Buddy Jennings, the other member of our team here. We just really appreciate all of those guys. And I tell you what, as I told you at the outset of the show, agriculture touches every life, not only in the state of South Carolina, but all across the world. And these guys make it happen. They get it. And I want to thank you, Harry.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything that you guys do, okay?
We have a
Russell,
blast.
for
Good
you,
job.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, man, just keep it up, buddy. I tell you what, thanks for being a friend, I tell you, and the ultimate coach that you are.
Oh, well, I don't know about all that.
I'm
glad to be here with you.
Well, the next time I'm going to get these guys all down quail hunting, okay? So, and we're going to talk more agriculture, but right now, we appreciate it. We always like to have you guys looking in on our show each and every week, but as I always like to say, the passion, it is always mine, but I want it to be yours too. We'll see you right back here again next week on another episode of Bob Redfern's Outdoor Magazine.